Welcome to LiveDaf, your online Daf Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem and welcome back to today's Daf Hayemi Maseches MEILAH, Daf Yud Zayin. We begin at the Mishnah with just 2 lines off the top. As we discussed yesterday, there are 8 creatures, unique in a sense that they will generate Tumah upon their death. So these Shmoyne Shvatzim are Matame. And how much is needed? What's the minimum volume to generate Tumah? So in contrast to a nevela, dead animal, where it's ikazais, here it has a different shear, ka'adasha, the size of a lentil. And the Gemara in Chagiga, Chagiga Daf Yud Aleph, learns it from the pasuk there, where we learned that the shear relates to the smallest possible sized creature at its infancy. And since we find that a certain creature called a chomet, which is one of these 8, so the chomet starts off the size of an adasha, that's the minimal size requirement for any sheretz material to generate tumah. Now what can go into that adasha, says the Mishnah. Dama sheretz ubesarim stafen zemzeh. You can combine, you can have a adasha worth filled with flesh, the basar of the sheretz, together with the blood-like fluid, and that could comprise the adasha, and together they're metame. In fact, klal amar Rabbi Shua, in line with Rabbi Shua's rule, what materials combine with each other regarding generating tumah? That's only when they have something in common, similar properties, similar tumah properties. Materials whose degree of tumah, that's number 1, vishiurai, and their volume requirements are also on the same page, shabin, they can be mitzdarfim. But if you have something tumasai, where the tumah element is matching, but not the shiur amount, or vice versa, shiurai v'lo tumasai, you have 2 materials who share the same shiur requirement, but they don't have the same level of tumah, or neither. Lo tumasai v'lo shiurai, in these cases, you can't combine them. They don't really match up. Now Rashi delineates for us the cases on all these categories. Let's take a look at Rashi inside. It's around 10 lines from the top. You have things which are completely matching. Kigoy nevelo. You have a kazai comprised of a piece of this nevela, a piece of that nevela. Or 2 types of creatures. So these share both properties, the tumah and the shiur. So they can combine. However, when you have things which share the same element of tumah, but not shiur, could go in, for instance, sheretz and avela. So on the one hand, tumas and shava, they both generate the same type of tumah. It's a 1-day tumah if you touch them. The shneim havin tumas erev, you tummy only till nightfall. But the shiur is very different. Why? The nevela share tumas v'kazayis, as we discussed, but nevela it's a kazayis, v'sheretz is kadasha. So they're dissimilar in the shiur, they can't match up. You have something that shiur works, but not the tumah. They're both kazayis, so the shiur matches, tavayim tamim kazayis, but varying levels of tumah. Meis habi tumasa is zayin, touch a meis, you're tumah for 7 days. A nevela, it's only a 1-day experience. A nevela, they have tumas erev. And finally, lo tumasa v'lo unmatched on both elements. Could go in meis v'sheretz. The sheretz shiur b'kadasha, v'tumaseh the erev. The sheretz is kadasha, and it's a 1-day tumah. Umeis is a kazayis, v'sh tumaseh shiva. So in those cases, you can't really be mitzarev them. Amar of Chanin, Amar of Zeira. So he says like this: when the Mishnah speaks about the 2 elements of the sheretz, the basar and the dam, merging together, be mitzdaref to be mitame, that is only uboy, only within the same sheretz. So within the same creature, the basar and dam can be mitzdaref to generate tumah. But you can't take the dam of sheretz A and combine it with Basar Rav Sheretz B, that doesn't work. Moisef Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Bar Chanina. He says, really? Rabbi Chanina has a brisa that you could match them all up. You could combine different shratzim. The pasuk says hatmeyan. Speaking about the various shratzim, Eila hatmeim lochem. So the extra hey of hatmeim tells you could combine all types of shratzim with each other, provided they're all of the 8, shratzim family. Malam and Shem and Starfin. Rafilo sheretz or sheretz. You can take a piece of sheretz A, put them together with sheretz B. You can take sheretz v'dam, bein mishem echad, whether they're of the same type of creature. Bein mishnei shem, so 2 different types of creatures, provided they're one of the 8 shratzim that are matami. So clearly you can combine all kinds of variations, including dam of this with the basar of that. And we just had a statement from Rav Zeira that only the dam with its own natural basar can be mitzvah. Amar Rav Yosef Lekash, here's the answer. Kam b'kulei, kam b'ktsasa. It's an interesting, unique distinction. He says like this, the way Rashi learns it. If the blood came out of a complete whole sheretz, that gives it status, gives it chashivus, and that blood can now go ahead and be mitzvah with other materials, with other shratzim as well. However, if it came off a part sheretz, the sheretz wasn't complete anymore, just a little piece of the sheretz, dam comes out of that, does not have its own chashiv, its own status. So at most, you can join together with its own mother flesh, but not with another sheretz. Very interesting distinction. Where else do we find this type of distinction? Whether it's flowing out of a full entity or a partial entity. But Desani, we find a similar concept by dam coming out of a mace. The ravias of dam that comes out of a dead person is metame, but oil, even by leaning over it, you become tamei. And we find a difference between whether it originated from a full or a partial mace. So the blood spilled down the floor on a slopey area. So basically it's pulling in different directions. So if you hover over just part of that blood, he's tar. If he made sure to hover over the entire ravias, he's tamei. Now, my miktsasai. What does the brisa mean? That if he leaned over part of it, he's tahar. Elo mixas dam. That he leaned over part of the blood. But if you lean over the entire blood, he's tamei. V'amar b'chanina, amar Rabbi. He tells, revius dam shehigas b'tahira. He takes a full revius, full amount, and mixes it. Higas has a spoon. Even though inevitably he's hovering over the whole thing, he's tar. A minute ago we said, leaning over the entire thing makes you tamei. We have to conclude with this distinction. Kam b'kula kam b'ktsasei. Shmamino. So Rashi explains once again. The point is, a revius of dam, coming from a full body, a full mace, that generates tumah, that generates tumah's oil. Because it's coming from something whole and complete, that gives it status. It enables it to generate a high level of tumah. In that case, if he's ma'ahil on the entire revius, he's tamei. But if it's coming from a partial mace, part of a mace, that doesn't give it chashivas. In that case, it's not even tamei ba'oil. Very interesting chiddush. V'shiv alu as nides. You should have relations with the nides. And of course, our nation cannot bear it. Halach Rabbi Ruvain ben Ist Rubli. So this this tzaddik went and tried to. He's going to make an effort to try to have it undone. So he got dressed up like a guy. V'siper kumi. He took a special style haircut with a pony in the back that like the guy would do. He went and sat with them, pretending to be one of them. And he had a discussion. Amar Lam, he tells him, look, I don't really understand this whole system that you're, this whole decree business. You picked on three things which don't really make sense. Imagine, a person has an enemy. Does he want him to get wealthy or poor? Yani or yashir? Yani, of course we want an enemy should get poor. She says, then why are you allowing them to work an extra day on Shabbos and earn more income? If anything, you should give them more vacation, compel them to stop working. Not the case, they shouldn't work for Shabbos. They should become impoverished. They said, good idea, Tavis Amar. Ooh, well said, Livato. It should be cancelled. But Luan, they deleted that part of the decree. Okay, next item, Chazar V'Amalem. So he turns back and tells them, look, what about the next item? Mishi Yesh Lo Oyev. Yachash Yavri. You have an enemy, you want him to get weak or strong. Amar Lo Yachash. Of course you want him to get weak. Amalam, he says, they should do bris milah to their sons on the 8th day. That will weaken them. Amar, they said, that's a great insight. Tavis Amar, well said. They deleted that as well. Chazar Amalam continued on. He says, Mishi Yesh Lo Oyev. You have an enemy. Yarbe or Yismayit. Does he want the enemy to multiply or to diminish in numbers? Amar Yismayit, of course to diminish. And he says, okay, leave all nidas. Have them keep away from the nidas. Less opportunity to have kids. Amar Tavis Amar. They said, wow, well said. They deleted that as well. And then they discovered his ruse. He discovered that he's a Yid. They were so enraged and they reinstated the decrees. Counterintuitive. Amru. So now the Klal Yisrael were in a bind, and he says, look, we have to go send a representative to try to work this through. Amru MEILAH, who's going to go to nullify the Xeris? Return time and place. Okay, Yelech Reb Shimon Yochai. They chose him. Miracle man. Shuv Melumad V'Nisam. He was accustomed to experience miracles that we have back in the story in the cave. He met Eliyahu Navi back in Sechel Shabbos, Daf Lamed Gimel. He can't go himself, he needs an assistant. V'achar MEILAH, who's going to go with him? Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Yossi. Okay, so they have their people. Amalin Rabbi Yossi. When Rabbi Yossi heard that his son was nominated for the position, he says, no way, I'm not going to send him into the lion's den, into Rome. Rabbi Yossi's father, his name was Chalafta. So he used the metaphor. He says, my father would have been alive. Would you have dared send his son to risk his life? Meaning me, myself? I don't want to do that to my son either. My father, whose name was Chalafta, would be around. Would you dare tell him, hand over your son for death? Rabbi Shimon responded likewise. If that's your argument, I could apply the same argument to myself. If my father was around, would you dare tell him? Send over your son. Put him in danger? Rabbi Shimon. How's his father's name? Yechai, right? My father, Yechai Abba, would be Kaim, would be around. Would you dare tell him, hand over your son for death? Okay, just like I can do it, you can do it. Serious Nevesh for Klal Yisrael. Amralu Rabbi Yossi. So Rabbi Yossi responded, okay, you know what? But instead of my son, I'll go myself. Ana Azilna, let me go. He had another concern because Dil Ma'anishle Rabbi Shimon. The Kamistafina. Kamistafina means I'm afraid, I'm concerned that maybe Rabbi Shimon will punish him if Rabbi Lezer is not honorable enough, if he won't treat him with enough respect for Kabbalat Torah, so afraid of letting my son go along. Kabul alay. So Rabbi Shimon committed himself. Not to cause him any punishment, not to Filohachi Anshe. It turns out that he did punish him because of the incident that happened that we're going to see in a minute. What was the story? Traveling along on the road. They encountered somebody with a shaila. Topic valid discussion. How do we know there's tumah on the dam of Asheretz? Now, Rav Shimon Yochai was the greater one of the two travelers. But it so happens Rabbi Lezer basically had the answer. So he wanted to respond, but in a way that wouldn't be an affront to Rav Shimon Yochai, as always, taking over the show. So he sort of whispered it sideways. Ikem piv. like twisted his lips. He like quietly whispered it. And he whispered over to the fellow of Amar. He says, that's the pasuk, that there's tumah on the dam hasheretz. So what happens? Reb Shimon picked up on it. He was unhappy. Amar le Reb Shimon, ma'kimas vasecha, from your whispering, from the movements of your lip. Yeah, it looks like you're a real Talmud Chacham. Well said, but it was inappropriate to respond in the presence of a big Chacham. It's a lack of respect to the big Chacham. Al yachzor ben etzel aviv. So he gave him a punishment. He says, the son should not return to the father. And in fact, Rashi brings that he got very sick, and he was on the verge of death, until Rabbi Shimon Yochai recalled that he had promised his father to bring him back safely. Ubikesh alav Rachman brings Rashi, and he got all better, recovered. That was the next part of the story. In any case, they're on the way to Rome. Yotza Likrasam Ben Timalian. There's a demon, a shade called Ben Timalian. He came to greet them. He says, would you like my services? I can help you out on your mission to the Mevatel D'Gzeres. Should I come along with you? So on the one hand, they were getting divine assistance, but Reb Shimon was displeased by the medium of that assistance. Instead of a malach, encounter a shade, which is part of the other system. Reb Shimon cried. He says, look, the maidservant of our ancestor, Hagar, maidservant of Avraham Avinu, merited to experience the presence of a malach 3 times, real malach. Ma shivcha shel beis Abba. Look, even the maidservant of our father, of our grandfather, Avraham Avinu, is damel malach shalosh pam. She encountered a malach 3 times. Vani lo pam achas. I mean, not even once. I have to utilize the services of the Ben Timalian. No, okay. That's what Hashem wants. The miracle should arrive, should be delivered in Kol Mokim, by any means that Hashem chooses, fine. So how did he help them out? Kadem hu al b'rate de Keser. So Ben Timalian went ahead, and he entered the body of the daughter of the ruler of the Keser. So the princess suddenly started feeling this spirit, and she got deranged from it. Kimata Hasan. So when Reb Shimon Yochai arrived at the palace, and she was in agony, she was in this state that they had to, they were looking for some way to heal her. And they asked Reb Shimon, please daven for her. He knew the truth, so he just whispered to him by name. Okay, time to get out. Amar Ben Timalian. Okay, time to leave. Say, Ben Timalian, say. So as soon as he, called him out, he left. And now, she recovered. And they were so excited, they were going to give him anything. Amru lahain. So the royal people, they turned to the guest. They says, you know what? Make a wish. Shi'ilu kol madis l'chan mishal. Ask whatever you want. V'oilu leveigaz of the Malkat Zagirsa. They took him into the treasury. They went into the beigaz of the Malkat, the king's treasury. V'shakol. No, v'ulu. This is part of their offer. Go inside. They invited them into the beigaz of the Malkat. V'shkol kol madis l'chan. Take whatever you want. Oilu. They went in there. Ashkelon. What did they discover? That decree, that letter against the Torah, Lahi Igarta, they discovered that that law that was enacted against Klal Yisrael. They took it, Shaklu, they took it and they ripped it up, Ukaru, and that did the trick, that nullified the Gzera. And on account of that episode, V'hainu, that explains a statement that Rabbi Lezer, Rabbi Yesi, who had accompanied Shimon Yochai to the palace, a statement that he made in a different discussion in Maseches Yuma, where there's a whole discussion regarding the sprinkling of the blood on Yom Kippur. Does it reach the curtain? Does it not reach the curtain of the the pareches? And Rabbi Lezer says, look, first-hand experience. I saw it in Rome because they pilfered all our kalim. They took him to the. Many say there are many still sitting in the chambers in the Vatican. So he says, I was there. I saw it. I saw the pareches in Rome myself. And on it there were sprinklings of blood, which proves that the blood actually reached the parechas. Okay, so in a nutshell, we did discover the source of the tumah on the damasheretz of zelechem atamei, which is actually what Rabbi Shimon Chai had responded way back in the beginning of the discussion to Rav Masih ben Charash. And as he said, it was sourced from Rabbi Yesi, because as we learned, he heard it from him on the en route to Rome. So Dam Sheretz is mitzame, is a mitzvah with the basar. Its own basar for sure. It's another basar. Well, it depends if it's coming from a full, complete sheretz. Yes, otherwise not. In general, we went in the Mishnah. Materials can join each other to generate a joint tumah, provided they have common properties. Number one, the tumah. They share the same degree of tumah and the same type of shiur. But otherwise, it's a mismatched matchup and does not really merge together. Speaking about mismatches, says the Mishnah, pigul v'anoisar. So pigul is material from a carbon whose Oived, the kohen, had intended to eat, the carbon beyond its expiry date, or feed it to put on mizbeach beyond its time. V'anoisar, you have actual carbon material which was left beyond its expiry time. So there's issue of eating these materials. There's kares upon eating them. Ein mitzarfin. If you have a kazais comprised a little pigul, a little noiser, it doesn't combine. Why? They're two separate entities, two separate isurim. Likewise, if you have a piece of a sheretz, a piece of an avela, ha-sheretz of an avela, that can't really join together because the sheretz has the shear of kadasha, nevela has a shear of kazai, so the shear is a similar. Nevela basar ames, likewise nevela together with basar ames can't join mitzvah and zemzeh, because nevela has its own level of tumah, basar ames has a different level of tumah. You can't combine them. Oh, here's the catch. Even to fill in the weaker material with the stronger material, that doesn't either work. So for instance, Rashi explains that it doesn't go up, that's pretty clear. But perhaps it can go down, meaning you have a combination of sheretz, but it's an incomplete adasha. You want to fill it in with a little nevela. Of course you can't. That's simple because a nevela is less severe than a sheretz. The fact is, you need more of nevela to be matami. You need a kazayis, whereas a sheretz, you need just a little bit of matami. So nevela is less powerful. Certainly that cannot join forces and fill in for the missing sheretz. What about the other way around? You have an incomplete kazayis of nevela. You want to fill in it with sheretz, which is more severe, which is stronger. Even that doesn't work. Even to complete the weaker one, because they're similar, they don't match up. When do we say that pigul and noiser, they're not joined together? It's only regarding generating tumah. Tumas yadayim. Rashi brings the Gemara. Psachim, Chacham decreed tumas yadayim. One touches pigul and noiser, becomes tamei, the tumah derabanan. This was not to discourage generating of tumah and noiser. Makes you tamei, you make sure not to get involved with it, right? So regarding tumas yadayim, which to begin with is only derabanan, you can't merge together a little pigul, a little noiser to generate tumah. Because to begin with, it's only the Rabbanon, and that's double the Rabbanon. That wouldn't work. It's like takanta. To begin with, it's the Rabbanon. Now you're going to be mitzar two dissimilar things. So it doesn't. But if a person were to eat a kazayas, comprised partly of pigul, partly of noiser, although there's no kares, because as we explained, each one is unique and separate regarding its own kares, but there is an element of commonality, and the Amit Starv for Malchus. The Sani of Lezo Eimer. Because look, aside from being pigul and this being noiser, they're both, in a way, similar in the sense that they're carbon material, which is possible. So in that sense, they will fit together, they will combine. Sani of Lezo Eimer, Lo Ya'achal K'Kodesh. So it shouldn't be eaten because it's kodesh. It's unfit to be eaten. It's kodesh, you got to burn it. So this is an umbrella reference to all unfit carbon materials. If one eats it, he gets malchus. Kol sheba kodesh pasal, any pasal kodesh material, there's an extra lav, don't eat it. And that incorporates all types of psulim, pigla, and isa, so you can combine them together for the lav. Says the Mishnah, you have food material which had come into contact with a source tumah, like a zav, right? We have a tumah structure, right? It starts with the ultimate generator of tumah, which is actually the avi avos, the grandfather, that's the person that died, that's the ultimate source, ultimate generator of tumah. Then we move on to av ha-tumah, father tumah, generator of tumah, you have zav, mitzvah, and that comes into contact with food. It makes it tameh, but it's a notch lower. It's called a rishon l'tumah, which in turn, if it comes into contact with more food, it transfers tumah, and it goes down another level. It becomes a sheni l'tumah, so on and so forth. So you have food that was nitma ba'ava tumah, touched nava tumah. He's a rishon. You have another piece of food, v'shenitma vlad tumah, touched a vlad, an offspring of tumah, meaning he touched a rishon. Now he's a sheni. So basically, you're trying to combine a piece of a rishon with a piece of a sheni. Here we do combine. Why do we do that over here now in the previous mission? The Gemara will discuss. So when it comes to foods that are tameh, you can combine them. To be a tameh, as per the lower level amongst these two. Meaning, as we explained in the previous Mishnah, when you have a piece of a rishon, a piece of a sheni together, you can't treat them both as rishon. But in this case, the rishon can serve as a filler for the sheni and treat him like a sheni as well. So now you have a kazayas of sheni. In fact, all types of foods can join and merge with each other regarding many halachas. A person needs a half a pras, a certain amount of food which is tameh. His gviyah, his body becomes tameh with respect to the ability to eat truma. If that amount is comprised of many types of foods, has that effect? Or 2 meals worth material of food for the Erev. Erev Techumen, right? So you can have a little jelly, a little peanut butter, all types of foods for some total of the required amount. The kabetza, you have a kabetza of various foods, and the tameh, the tumah food. Let's say Shabbos, regarding carrying on Shabbos, which is a dried fig volume worth of food that can be comprised of many different foods. And likewise, the plum date amount required for liability on eating Yom Kippur, comprised of many foods. Likewise, various liquids, that was drinks, can join together. If you have a revius comprised of many types of juice, that works to disqualify a person who eats these drinks these tummy liquids, to disqualify him from eating truma. And likewise, regarding liability on drinking on Yom Kippur, regarding filling the cheek fill of liquid, regarding Yom Kippur. Now the obvious question is, here we allow combining foods regarding tumah, etc. Unlike the previous Mishnah, we don't allow merging together different types of things. Tanya, Reb Shimon Omer Matam, why is it so? Why are we allowing a rishon with a sheni, different levels of tumah? How could they connect? Answer, she'ef shel sheni she'asa rishon, because a sheni can turn into a rishon. Has that potential, so he has that similarity. Really? Umika, avid sheni, rishon, how could a sheni turn into a rishon? Halayavsh, that's impossible. Amar Rava, no, he mean like this. They're both on the same track. Hachikam, mi garam l'sheni, lav rishon. What turned this one into a sheni? He came from a rishon. So we have the generator, the Av, bringing about Rishon, which then evolves into a Sheni, turns into a Shlishi. They're pretty much the same tumah. It's sort of like weakening as it goes along, but it's the same type, the same brand, on different levels. And that explains how they could combine, at least regarding filling in the lower level tumah with the higher level tumah, because they have a lot in common. They're all coming from the same source. They're the same type of tumah. Rashi, he says the same thing in a different way. Rishon v'sheni, l'gav v'shlishi. The Rishon l'tumah and the Sheni l'tumah regarding jointly generating a shlishi, which is what we're trying to do here. Right? We're taking a kazayis comprised of sheni, missing a little bit, filling it with rishon, to have this work as a complete kazayis of sheni, to make a shlishi. So the rishon and the sheni regarding making a shlishi, bnei chada bikseinu, they live in the same house. Bix is a house, like a hut, they're coming from the same place. Same idea. Basically, they're rooted in the same source, in the same tumah, even though one is a bit weaker than the other, and therefore they can join together to generate, transfer further. As opposed to, sherets and avela, all those things, they're different entities. Each one with its own rules, with its own system, and you can't really match them up. Okay, let's do a quick chazar of today's daf. Dam is, of a sheretz is metamei. It can be combined with the basar in certain circumstances. In general, you have to have a lot in common. To be mitzarif materials for tumah, it has to be tumasa v'shiyurei shava. We have the story about the miraculous nullification of the terrible decree, which was aided by Ben Tamalian, who came to Rav Shimon Bar Yochai to offer the hand. We have Pilul Noiser not being mitzarif regarding achila, but yes, not regarding tumas yadayim, but yes, regarding the lav of lo yachal kadeshu, which covers all types of kachim psulim materials. Now we find interesting halacha that regarding foods, you can combine various foods regarding all types of halachas, including teaming up for tumah purposes. Okay, all the best to you and atzlacha rab.